one. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our board meeting. Don't mind the paparazzi. We'll call this to order. Can we start with roll call, please? I'm here.
Here.
Present. Here.
Okay, we are going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have an agenda for the evening. Do I have a motion to approve that?
Motion.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Did Linda vote? Did you vote, Linda? Yes, thank you. Okay. Next, we have the approval of the minutes from the May 11th board meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, good. That helps. She gives a thumbs up. Okay. Dr. Sprout, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Berrigan and governing board members. We welcome tonight Tony Barostegui to the governing board. A round of
Yeah.
applause. Tony was appointed last week by County Schools Superintendent Steve Watson to fill our current vacancy. A little background, Tony moved to Levine in 2005 and has since then fully invested himself in our community along with his family. Tony has been highly involved at Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy as a parent, Boy Scouts. He was on the Cesar Chavez Community Center Steering Committee, and we actually got it built.
We got it built.
Yeah. He was one of the people that was part of that 19-year process or whatever it was. And so congratulations on that. And also a director with the Levine Community Council, and that's just to name a few. Pictured here are Tony and his family, wife Angelica, son Tony Jr., and daughter Giselle or Gigi. So congratulations, and we're very glad to have you on the board, Tony.
Thank you.
All Paseo students in grades PK through 7 were able to show off their Spanish language acquisition skills at their Feria de Talleres, or Fair of the Project, or Fair of Project. Students presented their culminating projects to parents at the year-end event, and it was outstanding. May was out-of-state field trip month for 8th graders. All of the trips were to Washington, D.C., with one exception. Estrella Foothills took their students, 16 students, to Costa Rica, and a couple, staff member right there. And now my understanding is that obviously this is part of our International Baccalaureate program. All 16 students that went on the trip, none of them had ever been outside of the United States, and many of the staff had not as well. That chaperone. So a wonderful time for our 8th grade students in DC and abroad. Desert Meadows has completed the first 2 weeks of its summer coding camp. 25 students in grades 4 through 8 are participating in the camp, where they will learn how to build and program Edison robots, use Makey to have everyday object control of a computer, and use Minecraft EDU to develop and use coding concepts. Had a chance to go visit it yesterday, and you know, this is one of our first times that we've ever had a specialized summer program on one of our campuses, and I think it's the wave of the future for our district, and I'm very excited to see this Coding Academy take off. A person by the name of Jeff Sprout will be receiving the ASA Distinguished Administrator Award for the Superintendent's Division on June 12th. This is a peer nomination award, and while naming one individual, it definitely reflects the entire distinguished team that makes up our amazing school district. Congratulations to Daniel Romero and Robert Jacobson for receiving the Best Practices Award from ASBO for their metal recycling program. They have found a recycling company that will pay the district to recycle our scrap metal, and their innovative thinking has saved the district thousands of dollars and has been submitted to the ASBO International for consideration for a Pinnacle Award, and Julie Carson nominated them. And let's give those two gentlemen right back there a big round of applause. We have two grants I wanted to update the governing board on. First, the district is the recipient of a competitive grant in the amount of almost $300,000 to support our district-wide summer school program. The grant was provided by the Arizona Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund 2, or Gear 2, and summer school is offered at all 9 of our schools. And I would like to say a special thank you to Nancy. Where is Nancy? Nancy's not here right now. Also, Anita Purcell, I know, provided support on that as well. And so $300,000. Let's give them a round of applause and thanks. The second grant is a $1.25 million Arizona Transportation Modernization Grant. These funds will be used to purchase electric buses, charging infrastructure, and other transportation technology components. Thank you to our CFO, Kevin Hagerty, for the many nights he spent writing this and weekends, and so thank you, Kevin, for your work on that. All administrators spent 2 days out of the office last week to plan for the upcoming school year and participate in team-building exercises. Teams reviewed a variety of data, discovered their strengths. We did strengths finders as a team and gained information about our school's signature programs and just had a lot of fun together. They all work very hard. We need to make sure that they have some fun. This picture right here is of the Helios Decision Theater, where we were also able to get a better idea of the Levine community. They pull in census data, school-going data, and it was a perfect complement to the demographic study that we just did. And if the board would like to go and visit the Decision Theater, it's a very impressive setup that they have there and very informative regarding our community and how we can serve our community. This is a special night for us because we recognize former 8th grade students who have been promoted by our district and are heading to college, and we are providing them with scholarships from the Levine Education Foundation. We have 7 students here this year that we will be recognizing and awarding scholarships to. And what that means is it's an 8-semester scholarship. So we cover for 4 years. That's our commitment to our former promotees. And we're just very, very excited. This is one of those beautiful moments in our district where we go back and we're able to celebrate with our students that left us 4 years ago and get them ready for their future and support them. So, President Berrigan, I have certificates here for you. I think we have almost everyone here that received a scholarship. So first, allow me to introduce a student who attended Vista del Sur Accelerated Academy and then Betty Fairfax High School, and will be going to ASU next year to major in engineering, and that's Trey Melton. Our next student is not able to be here tonight, but we want to recognize she attended Paseo Point and then Cesar Chavez, and will be going to MCC or one of the Maricopa Community College schools to major in neuroscience, and that is Krishna Morales Torres. This student attended Vista del Sur Accelerated Academy. Then Betty Fairfax High School. She will be attending Stanford University, majoring in what everyone majors in, digital linguistics. That is Hannah Salas. Congratulations. And that is definitely a degree of the future. Next, student who attended Desert Meadows School and then Maricopa High School and will be attending ASU to major in film and media, and that is Denver Bryant. Next, a student who attended Desert Meadows School and then Betty Fairfax and will be going to NAU to major in engineering, Owen Kunis. Next, a student who attended Trailside Point School and then Betty Fairfax High School will be going to ASU to major in cognitive science, Madeline Schneider. Did I say ASU? Yeah. It must have been a slip because right here it said U of A. I don't know how that happened, so. Are you sure? All right, we'll say that again. Trailside Point to Betty Fairfax to University of Arizona in cognitive science, Madeline Schneider. So, next, we have a student who attended Desert Meadows, then to Betty Fairfax, will be going to ASU, another film and media major, and that is Tyler Kunis. Parents, yeah, feel free to come forward and get a picture. Well, congratulations again, and we wish you all the best in the next 4 years. A lot of us have had that awesome experience of going to college, and I know you're going to enjoy it, and we do, again, wish you all the best. And to your families, hey, let's give your families a round of applause. Okay, I'm just going to say this. You know, when you're a parent, you went to ASU, you care about ASU. But going back to Madeline, once your kids get ready to go to college, you're happy that they're going to college. and wherever they're going, whether it's ASU, U of A, NAU, anywhere, we're very proud. I know that's a proud moment for you as parents to see your kids taking this step. So, and with that, we'll turn it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sprout. On to the business. We are going to have a presentation on Parent Square. Is that right? Okay. Oh, yeah. Families, it's a more boring part of the meeting. You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to stay. Go celebrate and have dinner. Oh, sorry. Kristen's a wonderful presenter. It's not her fault. It's not her fault what the content is. You can go. Thank you, guys. Yes, thank you. Yeah, celebrate. Go celebrate. Okay, Kristen, come on up. We're all very interested.
I'm sure. President Berrigan, members of the board, I am so excited about this. This is our new communications platform, Parent Square, that we are now launching, and it's going to be ready for when school starts in August. It is a platform that will improve school and home communications by consolidating numerous communication pieces into one. So this is our communication system right now. No.
So weird.
There are so many tools that we as a district use to communicate with our families, and that's part of our problem. All these tools can become overwhelming at times. There's messages and alerts, and they tend to get lost in the shuffle. At the district and school levels, we primarily use our mass notification system to send email, text, and voice messages. Teachers can also send emails via Gmail or through the Synergy platform, but they've also used a variety of other communication apps as well. So this is my phone. Please don't judge me. But thinking about the many ways we communicate to families, we also need to consider the tools that families need in order to communicate with us. They're getting messages from all their children's teachers, from our schools, from our district, email, text messages, voicemail, notes home, newsletters, websites, social media, and it's overwhelming. And all that increases with the number of children a family has in our schools. So Parent Square takes all those communication tools and combines them into one platform. Parents can either download the app or they can log into the Parent Square dashboard. So here's a look at what Parent Square offers. From the district and school levels, we'll still have the email, text, and voice messages that are currently provided by School Messenger. But what makes this different is that you can go into the dashboard and see all those previous messages in one place. At the classroom level, Parent Square will allow teachers to direct message parents either individually or as a group. They can post classroom updates so parents can check in anytime to see what's been shared. They can add a calendar, and they can use the system for conference and volunteer signups. At the school level, there are also permission slips and surveys, and you can collect payments for fundraising and fees. What does Parent Square not replace? Parents will still be able to use ParentView to look at their children's grades and other records. We will still use the behavior management apps to track positive behavior and points. PeachStar will still be used primarily for those external organizations like ball leagues and Girl Scouts, and teacher websites will still exist, although those are going to be more for the public-facing side. Transportation will continue to use their routing system, which alerts parents to delays or incidents. Here's a look at the direct messaging feature. So like I said, you can receive this like a text message, or you can log into the dashboard and also see that message as well. Teachers can also direct message either one family or the entire class at one time. And the best part about this is it automatically translates based on the family's language preference. So if you have a family who speaks Spanish, the teacher can write their message in English. Parent sets their preference to Spanish. When they receive the message, it's automatically translated into Spanish. The family can respond in Spanish, and the teacher gets the note back in English. Email messages are also stored in the dashboard. So here's an example. We've been playing with this on the district side of it. You can see that Eddie sent me a message, and the bottom rectangle is what was sent to my email. That's a screenshot of it. But when I log into the dashboard, I can see all my previous email messages as well. So if I'm trying to find a message, maybe the teacher sent me information on an upcoming field trip, I can go in and find all the messages right there without having to dig. Do you want me to wait to make sure she's...
Yeah, let's give it a second. I need a power cord.
Linda's taking a nap.
Because I'm so exciting in my presentation. So this gives you an idea as to what the dashboard looks like on the parent side. You can see the teacher has added classroom updates. Those are called posts in the middle section. And the updates can remain with the most recent information on top. There's a calendar, photos, and they can go to their direct message area as well. This is great for our families. They simply go to the platform to see all the updates from their child's teacher in one place, and if they have multiple children, they can see everything at one time, or they can toggle between the children. There's a sign-up feature that you can use for meetings, volunteering, and surveys. There's also a more comprehensive scheduling tool for events that have multiple dates and time slots. The form and permission slip feature allows for electronic permissions and can be combined with online payments and volunteering. Here's a look at the online payment system, and that can also be used for fundraising. And most importantly, Parent Square is iKeepSafe certified for data privacy. So staff training, Parent Square has a number of training modules available in video form. They expect most teachers only need about 30 minutes to learn how to use it on their end. There's also a Parent Square camp, a virtual camp in July. It's going to have, they'll have live lessons, but they'll also have pre-recorded videos that we can tune into. The communications department is developing manuals for teachers and staff to use, more of a step-by-step manual on how to use the system. And then, of course, we'll be offering in-person support throughout the year to anybody who may need some extra help. So we've already sent communication to our families and staff that Parent Square is going to be launched. The site is currently being built. We've already loaded our student data in for this past year, and so we're playing with that to understand how it works in the system. The district level admin, so technology and myself, we already received an overview on using it on the district side. And then again, we'll be participating in Camp Parent Square at the end of July. And so we'll be, throughout the summer, communicating with parents and staff on how to use it and rolling it out and getting parents signed up. They will have to opt into it, just like they did with School Messenger. So with that, I can answer any questions.
Any questions for Kristen? One thing is, as I'm watching the presentation, that I think this helps with even too, like looking at the permission slips. I know in my day job, we probably have 7 different versions of permission slips floating around because it's all hard paper copy, and a teacher has gotten hold of one, and then they just continue to use that one, and it's really an outdated one.
Yeah.
So knowing that everyone just gets a permission slip from this place, and it's always going to be the most current permission slip with whatever waivers and things like that on that, I think that's another benefit to something like this. Are there any other districts using this? Because I haven't heard of this yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of districts are launching it this summer as well. I know
Ah.
Scottsdale and Peoria.
Okay.
Peoria piloted it this past year, but I know they're going live district-wide this fall too. So,
Okay, very
yeah,
cool.
We're all very excited about it.
Okay, I gotta send an email to somebody. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you.
Sorry, let me log back on here. Oh, you have the next one too, thank you. All right,
I'm going
go
to
for
keep
it.
going.
Keep going. I shut my screen, so it'll take a second.
Okay, great. So back in January, I presented information on enhancing our school identities through facility improvements. As we implement more robust signature programs, we are reimagining our school campuses, particularly with respect to the exteriors. How do the exteriors of our campuses impact the experiences of students, parents, staff, and community members? What is the first impression that our schools are conveying? Does the exterior of our campuses adequately reflect the great things that are happening on the inside? In reviewing what we wanted to see on the exteriors, we realized we needed to develop some standards that our buildings should meet. So at first glance, what do our campuses currently tell our community? We're talking about current families and staff, but also residents who may or may not have children in our schools, as well as prospective families. Kevin Haggerty, Robert Jacobson, and I met to identify the messages we want our campuses to send, and found that everything fell into these 4 goal areas. So first, safety and security. We want students and staff to experience a safe and secure campus. In doing walkthroughs with Phoenix PD and Homeland Security, we found that there are many adjustments that can be made to our buildings that make a difference in limiting access to our campuses. Community. Our campuses are in the centers of our neighborhoods, and they host a number of events that are not school or district sponsored. So we have church services, neighborhood meetings, youth sports, and we even have some private functions that our facilities are rented out for. Community members should experience a sense of belonging and pride in our campuses. Emotional. We want our campuses to provide students, families, and staff with a welcoming and enjoyable experience. We want them to have a sense of pride in their campus and feel like they have an invitation to stay involved with the school. And finally, marketing. Parents have choices in elementary education, and we want families to experience that positive first impression. We want them to convey the excellence that is happening inside the building, and we want families to feel that our schools are a safe place for their children and they are welcome to be a part of the school. So with those 4 goals in mind, we looked at the various elements that make up the exterior, and this includes any state or city code regulations. These are the exterior building standards we want each campus to have in place to meet the 4 goals, and these were divided into 7 specific areas. So how do we plan to implement these 7 standards and meet the 4 goals of safety, community, and emotional and marketing? We've started working with architects to incorporate these elements into our designs. So let's go back to the Desert Meadows Early Childhood Center, which is really what inspired us to want to reimagine our campuses. The Early Childhood Center is the latest project that we've done. It just opened this year. And I mentioned previously in January that visitors are drawn to the new building. Everybody who comes to the school automatically thinks that that's our main school office, because that's the message that the building is sending. Compared to the main campus, the Early Childhood Center incorporates many more of the design features that we'd like to see across the board. It was built with durable materials that provide dimension and warm and inviting, like the wood look concrete. It has clear and bright signage, and the use of brightly colored paint helps identify it as a preschool. Play areas for preschool-aged children and accompanying shade structures were built in. Seating areas invite people to stay. Vegetation helps soften the appearance and provide shade as needed. And some safety features such as signage and secure entry were built in as well. The roof overhang also provides shade as needed. So this is the front of Desert Meadows, which is our coding school in its current state. You can see the fencing that goes all along the front, forcing people to the sidewalk as far away from the building as possible. The tall brick wall has no dimension, there's not much of an overhang, and it doesn't showcase what's going on inside our classrooms. So let's look at some of the design concepts again and see how these elements are incorporated into the design. Some safety elements to point out. We have the tall, non-climbable gates and fencing to the left, reinforced single entry point, clear signage, and then to the right, you'll see those metal screens that also provide a barrier to the windows. The metal screens also incorporate the branding of the signature program. So in this particular case, the metal looks like computer codes. And then again with the clear signage. And it provides shade to the offices. The metal screen provides shade to the offices, as does the new overhang. Landscaping is added to soften the front and add some additional color. And seating areas encourage families to stay instead of leave. So we're looking at a cost between $400,000 and $600,000 per school, and that would just be to do the front. And then we're also going to look at those other elements that are inside the campus as well that I mentioned in those 7 standards. This would be funded through our bond, which the Levine voters approved in 2015. And then remember, the bond only funds new construction, building renovation, buses, and technology. And so we're looking to issue those bonds in the amount of $19.5 million in September. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Any questions from the board? I don't know if,
She's raising her hand. Yep.
yeah, go ahead, Linda.
You probably got to put a microphone up to her. Okay, go for it.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I appreciate all the work into that plan. I know we talked about this after the last one and kind of bringing down the cost of the front, so of the cosmetic changes, and I appreciate that. I really like the points brought up about improving safety and improving some of the function with these improvements. I think that in order to be good stewards with our tax and bond money, the priority should really be the safety and the function, making sure we have enough classroom space, playground space, shade, pick up and drop off infrastructure, those types of things, because we really do have beautiful schools. I think they make a good impression. And so I hope that, for me, I think the priority should be, if we do minor spending on the cosmetics and showing that that's what fine, but the major spending should be things like, when we have 6 kindergarten classrooms, do we have a big enough playground? Do our kids have shade when they need it? And making sure that we have a plan to have those function and safety expenses covered as the priority over anything cosmetic. So those are the comments as we continue to go down this road with the improvements.
Any other comments? Okay. I appreciate the time and effort put into something like this. I know that it takes a lot of thoughtfulness to ensure that we're achieving what we want to achieve. And just want to take this opportunity to always thank our voters for approving a bond so that we have the ability to do the things that are needed and necessary, as well as doing things like making sure that our fronts to our campuses are welcoming and inviting to our families. Making sure that they're secure is a given, and that I don't think that we can underestimate the warmth that our campuses provide. We have a set of circumstances where we compete with charter schools who have the ability to do different things with their buildings that we don't have the ability to do. And so we're also competing with that, and sometimes parents make decisions simply off of how a building looks. So I appreciate this, and I think we are headed in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. On to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion? I'm going old school, guys. Paper.
Motion.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And, oops. Yep. Next, we have the proposed budget for fiscal year '24. Mr. Hegarty, is this the last time you will present to us? Maybe, maybe
Very
not.
possible.
Okay.
We'll see how that plays.
Okay.
So, anyway, did everybody get their copy of the
Yes.
changes from year to year? Perfect. There is no formal presentation. Basically, you see a rate and volume variance based on the changes from the legislature. We see some significant one-time money that's coming in that's being treated like our Prop 123, which means we don't get override money on it, but at the same time, it's still money it still spends, and we really like that. That number is going to be changing once we get the final ADMs in, and they make those final calculations. So we're right now at 1.8 million of one-time money. So that was not built into anything other than some brainstorming we've done on how we want to make sure we can utilize those funds to best support the schools. But that conversation will continue. So right now, it's just in there as a placeholder. Most of that money was actually plugged into the instruction line, so the instruction line looks a little inflated, because it is, because we're not sure exactly where those funds are going to be spent yet. But we can adjust this budget as we go through the year, or Charlie can adjust it based on whatever those priorities are approved, and you can move forward with those. But outside of that, it's great to see this kind of money coming in from the state, even the one-time money, because it's always welcomed. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
This might be more for Charlie or Dr. Sprout. When do we anticipate knowing what we will do with one time? What's our timeline on that? Fall?
We're brainstorming. I mean, we
Okay.
have brainstormed in council a few times, but
Okay.
it's a very broad list at this point. and We
Okay.
need to put some meat on it.
Yeah.
And prioritize it. That's, you know, again, this is money that can be shifted between M&O and capital too.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have a capital need, we could address that. But always remember, one-time money gets spent one time. and
One
that's-
time.
Yeah,
Can't keep spending it.
that's right. So we want to make sure it meets that criteria also,
Okay.
but also have an impact based on our priorities. So we're still working those.
Yeah, but as we can also update the board as we do revise budgets, and actually propose our budget if we have any more direction on that.
Okay.
We will keep that as part of the presentation, so.
Very good.
Oh, and by the way, I
Duly
did want
noted.
to mention real quick on the tax rate, it's basically flat or just a little bit down. Those won't be set until July, but based on what we're seeing right now preliminarily, it looks like the rate itself will go down. But if somebody's house value went up significantly, that could offset the decrease that we're going to be providing.
Yes.
So, okay.
Okay, thank you. We need a motion for that one.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Next is the Spanish curriculum adoption for Paseo Point. Are you doing that one?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
go for it.
From March 2023 to May of 2023, a team of Paseo Point parents, teachers, and administrators, and parent/governing board member, Ms. Abeg, researched, reviewed, and evaluated dual language programs to be considered for adoption. After several weeks of work, reflection, and deliberation, the committee recommends Listos as the core program with Antología and Avanza as supplemental resources. I have to say that this was a wonderful process to watch. Thank you to Dr. Watkins from our team that helped to lead it, but also our parents and our staff members. This was generated through expressions of need from our teachers and to provide the best program for our students. And so we thank them as well for sounding out the need to go down this path. And it's been done very, very well.
Awesome. Very exciting. Any comments or questions? Ms. Abeg, go for it. Wait, I think you're on mute still, my dear. Are you on mute? Oh, Eddie's coming.
Try it again. See.
Okay.
There we go. Now we hear you.
Okay, so I'm really excited about the curriculum, both as governing board member and as a mom of SEO students. So I got to be involved a little bit in the process, and it was like Dr. Sprout was saying, it was really great to watch it. We have such amazing teachers that are really knowledgeable in dual language instruction, and they brought in their expertise, and they were able to identify and communicate the benefit that these additional materials would have for their students. And then the admin at the school and at the district level responded and put together this committee that included parents as well as teachers and admin. And it was really cool to watch how studious they were in evaluating the options. And the teachers even tried out some of the lessons in their classroom already while they were deciding. And so they'd come back to the meetings and say, my students were really engaged in this part. And so that was really great to hear. Everyone was so thoughtful and dedicated, and Dr. Watkins made it so organized and had great leadership in the whole process. So I just wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone who worked for this, and the program they've recommended is awesome. I think it's just going to be really great, so I'm really excited to support that. Thanks.
Very, very good. Thank you. It does take a lot of time to go through curriculum. Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Next, we have the certified specialist's salary schedule. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. This recommendation to the board is to change the name of the current certified non-teacher salary schedule to the certified specialist salary schedule. The schedule also reflects a recommended revision to move the registered nurse position, of which we have two, to the same column as the school psychologist, speech language pathologist, occupational therapist, and physical therapist.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, the superintendent's performance pay, I'm going to handle that one. We did our evaluation of,
It's just not on the paper.
oh, it's not on the hard copy. Thank you. Okay, thank you. The grant agreement with State of Arizona for the Office of the Governor for the ARPA support for Arizona local education agencies. I think you're doing that one because I'm not prepared
Yeah,
to do it.
I am. Thank you. So the district has been awarded the governor's grant, ARPA, support for local education agencies for a maximum award of approximately $677,000. This grant will offset 100% of the personnel costs that the district incurred during the 22-23 school year by hiring 10 new teacher positions, which will allow us to, which allowed us to lower our student-teacher ratio. We have an amazing team that worked on this grant, and I want to thank Nancy Ramirez, Anita Purcell, who worked on this, $677,000 for the district.
Very nice. Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We will take their money. Okay. Now on to superintendent performance pay. We did an evaluation of Dr. Sprout in the November timeframe, and then we just make him wait a little while before we pay him his performance pay. I've talked about before how superintendents are a little bit under attack, particularly in Maricopa County and large cities across the U.S., and small cities too. I don't know who would want to be a superintendent right now, and sometimes I say that jokingly, but like I really mean that. You are in the line of fire at any point in time, and we have been very lucky to have a great community and great staff and great kids here, so we don't deal with much of that. But nonetheless, it's still a very, very difficult job, a lot of time away from family, and you make new family here. I just appreciate your dedication, your professionalism, your humility. Those are all very important aspects for me and a superintendent. So those are the comments I have. Any other comments for this? Okay, I am going to make the motion that we pay Dr. Sprout the performance pay. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Very good. It's a good way to end. Any comments from the board? We're going to start with you. I'm going to say your first name for a while, Tony, because I can't say your last name yet. But I'll get there.
In Spanish, it's Berastegui.
Oh, I think that's easier.
It's supposed to have an accent, so it's Berastegui. In English, it's Berastegui.
Okay,
It's a Basque last name
Okay.
from northern Spain.
very cool.
Pretty much, I'm just absorbing how effective you guys have been moving along. I'm just super excited because I want to keep the momentum going. The conversation you just had about Dr. Sprout, I echo that loudly. Very, very glad with them. I'm super impressed with what you guys have done, and I'm just looking forward to just keep the momentum going. You guys are doing a fantastic job for the reputation of Levine and its schools, and I just want to keep that going.
Awesome, thank you. Linda, you have anything to share?
Well, just another thank you to Dr. Sprout, and I mean, like you said, his humility too, and recognizing it's the team here, but it takes a great leader to bring together this many team players and make the team effective. And so I really appreciate that leadership that he provides for the district and maximizing our potential here. And just so many great things going on that we got to recognize today. I know the event that was talked about at Paseo with the fair at the end, really cool presentations from the kids, and they did hobbies and jobs they want and inventions, and it was just really cool to see the personality of the kids. And we see that throughout the district, attending the graduations and seeing teachers who have really connected with these eighth graders and the difference that they make. And it's just great to see anytime you step on campus, the relationships that our staff are forming with our students. And we're just really fortunate for all the great things going on in our district. So hoping all those staff members are having a good summer break and getting some rest after all that hard work all year. But just so much good going on. So appreciate it.
Thank you. Torrance?
Just want to welcome you, Tony. Happy to have you join us. You're going to enjoy this. It's a lot of work at times, but as you can see, it's paying off. It's really paying off. And I want to say goodbye to Kevin. I know I'm going to see you around, but man, this board knows, man. I don't have words. I mean, I look at the work you've done, and I just hope we can continue it. Please be around to help us. But we've grown exponentially under your guidance. That's just remarkable.
Ms. Anderson?
I also want to say welcome to Tony. We're glad that you're here on the board with us. And congratulations, Dr. Sprout, on your distinguished award that you're receiving. It is well-deserved. You do a lot of support to other superintendents around here, so we appreciate that. And then I just want to also give a shout out to all of those teachers and staff who are still here this summer doing summer school. So thank you for still giving your time when you probably should be resting, but still go rest.
Yes. Okay, welcome, Mr. Barastagui.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I'll keep working on it. We are happy that you are willing to step up when your community needed you. And, just ask your questions whenever you need to ask your questions. Dr. Sprout and I are always available for that, and as well as your fellow board members. So we appreciate you being here. I think you guys have said all the things I wanted to say, so I'm not going to repeat any of that. And we're going to go to executive session now. Thanks, guys, for being here. I need a motion to executive session, please.
Motion.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.